You started with $5,000.
I did. I started with $5,000.
And you've never borrowed any money or taken any money?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, I knew so little about how it was supposed to be done that I didn't even really know that was an option.
You built this business out of a transition in your life.
I like to say I went from banking to baking.
Yes.
Because I was a financial analyst. Natural transition,
Normal,
right?
normal.
Yeah.
I mean, people ask me about how this all started, and the sound bite that's out there the most is I cut the feet out of my pantyhose. But the reality is SPANX started long before I did that.
I just thought if I'm gonna have to start over again, we devote so much of our waking lives to work.
Yes.
I want to do something that I'm really passionate about.
When I was in my 20s, I was selling fax machines door to door.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it was the right life that I was in.
Yeah.
And I remember one day, I was like, this is not my life. What happened? And I went home that night and I wrote down, I want to invent my own product that I can sell to millions of people that will make them feel good.
Wow, so you just manifested
I
that.
just wrote it down that day, and then I literally looked up and said, universe, give me the idea, and I will not squander it.
I decided to go to pastry school. I'd always grown up baking. I loved to bake with my mom, but what I loved to do it if I had to wake up every morning and do it as a job.
Right.
And what I realized was I loved it. I loved working with batter and flour and sugar and great chocolate and beautiful ingredients and making artful things to give to people to enjoy.
And it was 2 years before one day here in Atlanta, I couldn't figure out what to wear under my cream pants. Every time I put them on, you could see the thong or you could see the panty line. And that's really what it came from. And then I cut the feet out of pantyhose and threw them on under the cream pants and was like, done.
I started baking these special occasion cakes out of my kitchen. Ultimately decided that wasn't a very good business. So I decided I wanted to do something artful, but simpler and something that people could eat on a daily basis. And that led me to the cupcake. At the time, you know, cupcakes were still sort of kids'
birthday party
They were
stuff.
like kids' lunchbox. They just weren't good quality. And I thought, if we were to create a cupcake using the same beautiful ingredients and artful design that I use for special occasion cakes, then wouldn't cupcakes appeal to adults too? That's incredible.
I was at a cocktail party, and I had just invented it, and I had boxes in my apartment, and I was super excited. And these two guys came up to me, and they said, so, Sarah, we heard you invented something. And I said, yes, I did. I'm so excited. And one guy pat me on the shoulder, and he said, well, you know business is war. And they laughed. And he said, yeah, I hope you're up for it.
We had landlords, you know, hang up on us when they heard what our idea was.
And I just went home that night, and I, sat down on my floor in my apartment and cried. And I was like, I don't want to go to war. Why does it have to be war? What if there's a different way?
When you have something to prove, you're gonna work that much harder. My husband and I had poured all of our life savings into this little bakery. There was that sense of, we're going for it. We know we're taking a big risk, but we know that if we don't do it, you know, it'll haunt us for the rest of our life.
Why was I able to take on billion-dollar industries? Love and care. I was like, I don't have the most money, I don't have the most experience, none, but I care the most.
We were busy right off the bat. We were working around the clock. There was a line wrapping almost completely around the city block for months. When you are on that path that you're meant to be on, things just start happening. Even though I was working probably harder than I was in investment banking, it seemed easy. And the fact that people were responding to it just kind of made me feel like I was in my flow.
Advice I would give women starting out is start small, think big, scale fast, trust your gut. Don't be afraid if you don't have the experience in it, because that can be your greatest gift, and ensure you're gonna do it differently.
I think it's really valuable to write a business plan. Once you start a business, you're in it. And there's so many things flying at you every day. It's hard to know what to say yes and what to say no to. And so taking a moment and referring back to those founding principles can be really valuable.